Gibson Square in Islington, North 1, the end point of the first run on the Knowledge of London, Manor House Station to Gibson Square. I'm going to take a quick whiz around and have a look at some of the points most frequently asked up at the carriage office or down at the carriage office from here on appearances on the Knowledge of London. And I'm going to start by leaving Gibson Square via left into Theberton Street. Left Theberton Street, Stud Street on the left. Le Sacre-Cœur restaurant does crop up occasionally. It's generally the only restaurant they ask out of all of these on this particular little run down Theberton Street. I'm going to turn right into Upper Street here, and I'm turning right to take a look at the screen on the green, which is on the right. You can't really set it on the right because you've got that bus stop and an island there, so you tend to use St Albans Place to turn around and set it on the left. There's St Albans Place on the right there, and here's another arm of it here. It's two-way, though it is about 8 feet wide. The Angel Business Suite on the left there, and Oregano on the right. Can't say I could have placed either of those. But back out left onto Upper Street, and you can set down Masala Zone North 1 or screen on the green just there. Back past Theberton Street. King's Head Theatre and Pub on the left, they ask that quite a lot. And left into Almeida Street. Almeida Restaurant on the right, and the Almeida Theatre on the left. This is one of the most frequently asked points on the whole of the Knowledge. I don't know why, because there are no tricks to it at all. You can turn either way onto Upper Street leaving this, and you can turn either way into it from Upper Street. Even more perplexing is the fact that it's in a little cul-de-sac. The four roads up here, the one we're on, Almeida Street, Battis Hill Street there, Napier Terrace down the end, and Waterloo Terrace, they just form a little square basically on the western side of Upper Street, and you can only get back out onto Upper Street whether you pick up at Almeida Theatre, whether you're asked to leave on the left or whether you can leave it on the right. They do sometimes ask you to leave that on the left, which means you've got to go Battis Hill Street, Waterloo Terrace. But again, at the bottom of Waterloo Terrace there are no restrictions onto Upper Street either. That was the Royal Mail sorting office. It's now going to be Islington Square, more unaffordable housing. I assume you can get into that from Stud Street, or will be able to get into that from Stud Street off Theberton by Le Sacre-Cœur restaurant when they finished it. Now that will be cropping up as a point on the Knowledge fairly shortly. And let's spin back around via Battis Hill Street and Waterloo Terrace and get back onto Upper Street. Into Waterloo Terrace. No restrictions. Islington Fire Station, they do ask quite a bit on the left. but not as often as the Little Angel Marionette Theatre, which I'm going to take a look at by turning left into Cross Street, Florence Street on the left, and right by this crossing, almost opposite Shillingford Street, into Dagmar Terrace, which is two-way. And there's the Little Angel Theatre. No real tricks to this either. I'm going to leave this via Essex Road, and you can turn into it either way from Essex Road and either way onto Essex Road when you're turning out. But this does crop up quite a bit. Right out of Dagmar Terrace onto Essex Road. Police officers doing some work. Wenlock and Essex on the left corner of Coldbrook Row, not asked often. I'm not sure if Brown's Restaurant North 1's still there on the north side of Islington Green. If it is, you get into it from the Upper Street side, not this side. I'm trying to take a look there. To be honest, I'm not sure if Brown's is still there. Anyhow, that never cropped up very frequently, nor did Sir Hugh Middleton's statue on the southern apex of Islington Green. Two that do crop up frequently are in Berners Road, just here on the right. No restrictions, surprisingly, turning in or out of Berners Road. Turn right into it, you can turn right out of it, and you can turn left into it if you're coming up from Islington High Street. And in we go, Business Design Centre in front of us, and the Hilton Hotel Islington at the top of the slope. And there is a Premier Inn round in Parkfield Street, which you would set on the left in Parkfield Street, and there it is. On four wheels you can only get out of this by going back onto Berners Road. And having said there are no restrictions at Berners Road, to an extent there are, because you can't dart straight across from Charlton Place, which is probably what this cyclist is going to do. But out of Charlton Place it is a compulsory left onto Upper Street and down towards Islington High Street and the Angel. And rather than sit with the camera running at this light for the next minute and a half, I think that'll wrap up for the pointing session at the Gibson Square end of Run 1 of the Knowledge of London Manor House Station, the Gibson Square.